Hello everybody and welcome back to another Let's Play Skyrim with me. Continuing on my vampire character playthrough, Sharia is on her way to Whiterun. We've been given the task by Alva of Riverwood to inform the Jarl that a dragon has returned to the region, even though they were long for extinct. And apparently it's interjected itself in the civil war, the civil unrest between the Imperial faction and the Stormcloak faction, and Alva is, well, suggesting that the Stormcloaks have something to do with the dragon's return. I kind of doubt that myself. You know, supernatural things aren't really under the control of mortal beings, and I'm a pretty good example of that, being obviously a creature of the night, or, well, a daywalker actually. I'm not a regular vampire. There's something different about me. Like I said in the first episode of this series, the curse, the disease, hasn't affected me the way it affects everybody else. It's taken on a different road with me. It's made me something more. You know, I'm not a traditional vampire. I am something completely different, completely new. I don't know why. Don't know what the reason behind that is. Why the infection mutated so radically in me and made me one of a kind. I'm sure it's something I would like to get to the bottom of during this playthrough, this series. But alas, right now we have other pressing matters to deal with. Now, mod changes for this episode. This is going to be, what, part 5 in the series now? And you notice I've been splitting the videos into parts A and B, because generally what I'm tending to do is I'm tending to sit down and play about 90 minutes, do about probably a 90-minute session to a 100-minute session before I need to take a break and have a rest. And at that point I generally take the footage and just split it in half and make 2 episodes out of it. So each part of the series is split into 2 little episodes, which gives you a slightly more bite-sized, digestible chunk, and it means I get 2 days worth of videos out of one session. So at the moment, as I record this this particular episode on Friday evening, I've got part 4 uploaded and scheduled, so those will go live on Monday and Tuesday evening next week. This part that I'm recording now will then go up Wednesday and Thursday, and hopefully over this coming weekend I will get a few more sessions recorded, which will give me quite a buffer, give me a bit of a boost into my playthrough. Hello, what's going on here?
Well, that's taken care of. No thanks to you.
What do you mean, no thanks to me? I had nothing to do with this.
Certainly not. But a true warrior would have relished the opportunity to take on a giant. That's why I'm
not
here
really a
with my
warrior.
Shield brothers. An outsider, eh? Never heard of the Companions? An order of warriors. We are brothers and sisters in honor.
The Companions.
And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough.
Mercenaries, then?
Well, nobody asked you. If you think you're better than we are, go talk to Codlac Whitemane. See what a warrior of true metal is like.
No thanks. I don't want to speak to Codlac Whitemane or...
Fight with us and you'll have stories to tell. Come up to your Vasker, if you're worth anything in a fight. The Circle are the ones who parcel out the jobs. That's Ayla, Skjor, and the brothers, Farkas and Vilkas. Codlac advises them.
Are those the
but he
ones that
doesn't
smell
really give
like wet
orders.
dogs?
Only the most famous warrior band in all of Skyrim. Have you been living with the Horkers?
I'm not from
When we
Skyrim.
arrive,
I'm from
blood is
Morrowind.
spilled and our blades sing to the glories of Ysgramor. This is life, sister. The struggle is what reminds us to draw breath. Are you kidding? I've wanted to be with them since I was a little girl. Haven't you heard the stories of Kodlak and Skjor fighting off the 101 orc berserkers?
No,
Skjor
Again.
says it was more like 40, but he's just being modest.
I'm not from Skyrim. I
Where
really
else would
don't
I
care
want to
about
be
your
but here,
folk tales.
learning from them, fighting at their sides. All right then.
And I don't think you'll accept my kind into your little circle. You know? All he's got on him was a couple of arrows. Really, dead giant. My strength grows as I can almost lift a dead giant corpse. Now, again, mod changes for this episode. Has there been any? I've rejiggled my load order a bit to try and sort out a few things. Don't think I've added anything gameplay changing or relatively new. I've switched on a couple of things I thought I had switched on. I've got the magic mod thingy jig. What's it called? Apocalypse Spells. That's it. Apocalypse Spells is now installed. And I've added, I was already using the, what was it, Advanced Follower Tweaks mod, but I've now added the immersive version of it. Again, immersion. It's a little bit more up to date version that changes the menus and simplifies some of the dialogue options and the settings and stuff, and gives you the nice little mod configuration menu for tweaking the settings of that particular mod. So yeah, using that. Apart from that, there's nothing new.
It's true. A jester, funny suit and all.
As I say, I'm trying to keep the load order quite low in this playthrough.
Like to see him laugh his way
Avoid
out of
any
that.
issues.
Well,
To the strange
sounds like
jester.
you've had quite the journey, Uthgard. But you were gone longer than usual. I got to thinking maybe you weren't coming back.
You sound like my ma. Figured I was lying dead in a field somewhere. Is that it?
Thought did cross my mind, yeah. War brewing, talk of a riot in Helgen, and now jesters? Skyrim's gone mad, girl. You need to be careful out there.
Careful, huh? Thanks, Skullvar. I'll remember that. Yeah, right.
I think those two have a little bit of a thing for each other. That's just my take on that. Earwigging on their conversation. Now hopefully they will let me into Whiterun now. I can actually enter the city. The town. I struggle to call it a city. There's only like 8 buildings. It's not a city. Hell, it's not even a hamlet. In true sense of the terms. But the guards should let me in now when I tell them I've got word of a dragon attack from Helgen, Riverwood, and Helgen. And then we'll kickstart the campaign, and then we'll go off and get to do
Hold.
some...
City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only. Fine. But we'll be keeping an eye on you.
I bet you will. Yes. You probably should. I'm a dangerous character after all. You know, you're letting a vampire into your dwelling. One of the things I am going to do as well going forward, I've did kind of check out my stats page earlier, and for being so relatively early in the playthrough, I have chomped on quite a lot of people at this point. So I may not feed on everybody I encounter in combat. Now I might just start, you know, Just pacing myself a little bit. You know, I don't want to get fat.
They say Helgen got hit by a dragon. One of those horrors comes here. We'll be ready.
I don't think you will. I saw that thing. It was huge.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
I just can't fill an order that size on my own. Why don't you swallow that stubborn pride of yours and ask Yorland Greymane for help?
I'd sooner bend my knee to Ulfric's.
Want to hear a little Nord wisdom?
Besides,
you don't really know a
Greymane would
woman
never
till
make
you
steel
have a
for the
strong
Legion.
drink and a fist fight with her. I'll take the job, but
I don't want a fist fight with you. For a start, you're wearing great big clunking steel armour. And my armour doesn't actually have any armour rating like these mage robes. So I'm at a significant disadvantage in a fight. You know, you're protected from damage, whereas I'm going to get creamed. They've arrived at night time though, so there's not a lot of folk about in Whiterun. To be fair. I first look at the JK Whiterun Overhaul Mod, which makes a few little tweaks and changes to Whiterun, but doesn't go, you know, completely lore unrealistic. And go OTT like some of the other mods. I'm not going to be running something like Open Cities. I really don't see the purpose in that mod. I've played it before, and when I saw a comment on the mod page, or on a mod page not long ago, where they said, doesn't it seem a bit ridiculous that they remove the loading to gain access into a city? But if every time you want to go into a shop or a house or something, you've got to then sit through a loading screen. What's the point? You know? I would sooner load into the city and then, like I say, run up to this door, click open, and I'm in. I would much sooner they get rid of these loading screens. A mod come out that gets rid of these loading screens. No, so when you're in a city, you can freely move in and out of every building, kind of like Witcher 3. You know, you can move in and out of the buildings at your leisure, and you don't get a loading screen. Okay, the buildings probably aren't quite as detailed as this, but and to this scale, but you know, it's 2018. We have the technology. It's time we used it. You know. But anyway, I'm here to talk to this fella. Oh, hang on a minute.
What's the meaning of this interruption? Jarl Balgruuf is not receiving visitors.
You pull a sword on me, you best be prepared to use it.
Well, that explains why the guards let you in. Come on then. The Jarl will want to speak to you personally.
Yeah. Hello, Jarl.
So, you were at Helgen. You saw this dragon with your own eyes?
I did.
I should have guessed Ulfric would be mixed up in this. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls against the dragon?
No, because the dragon will
We should
fly
send
right
troops
over
to
them.
Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate danger. If that dragon is lurking in the mountains.
The Jarl of Falkreath will view that as a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not...
Enough! I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service, and I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem.
Nord mail shirt. Not my kind of armor,
Another thing
really.
you could do for me. Suitable for someone of your particular talents, perhaps. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons.
Okay. You're court wizard. Oh, nice digs you got here anyway, mate. Nice property, nice pad, nice crib. Maybe one day I'll own something like this. You never know.
Farengar, I think I found someone who can help you with your dragon project. Go ahead and fill her in with all the details.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use to me. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there.
Okay, so what does this have to do with dragons?
Ah, no mere brute mercenary, but a thinker. Perhaps even a scholar? You see, when the stories of dragons began to circulate, many dismissed them as mere fantasies, rumors, impossibilities. One sure mark of a fool is to dismiss anything that falls outside his experience as being impossible. But I began to search for information about dragons. Where had they gone all those years ago? And where were they coming from?
So what is it you need me to do?
I learned of a certain stone tablet said to be housed in Bleak Falls Barrow. A dragon stone, said to contain a map of dragon burial sites. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it to me. Simplicity itself.
Bleak Falls Barrow. That's where Lucian says the bandits who stole his golden claw have gone.
An old tomb, built by the ancient Nords, perhaps dating back
Seems
to
a
the
bit
Dragon War
coincident,
itself. Ah, maybe you just want to know how to get there. It's near Riverwood, a miserable little village a few miles south of here. I'm sure some of the locals can point you in the right direction once you get there.
No, I know where it is. And Riverwood's not a miserable little village. It's actually been quite hospitable to me. So what's your tone?
Well, must preserve some professional secrets, mustn't we? I have my sources. Reliable sources. I'm not surprised you've never heard of it. Even I used to think it was just a myth. But not anymore. The Dragon War was a real event, although only the barest glimmer of the actual events has come down to us. Far back in the Mythic era, the dragons were worshipped as gods in Skyrim. Many of the monumental ruins that still dot the landscape were in fact built as temples to the dragons. The details are lost, but at some point, the Nords rebelled. After a long and terrible war, the Nords overthrew their dragon overlords. Oh no, many were killed, of course, but many survived into historical times. Why, this very palace was built by one of Balgruf's ancestors to hold a captive dragon. Hence its name, Dragon's Reach. Sadly, no. My work affords me few opportunities for such an adventure. Perhaps some hero will bring one to Dragon's Reach, like old Olaf one I once did. What a fascinating conversation that would be. I believe I am, yes. Technically speaking, of course. The city is also home to a priest, priestess, an alchemist, and I'm sure others who practice. Ah, that reminds me. Speaking of alchemists, I have some frost salts for Arcadia. She asked me to obtain them for one of her potions. Would you be so kind as to deliver the frost salts for me? I'm sure Arcadia will provide some form of recompense.
I suppose so.
Good. You're clearly better suited than I am to carry out such a menial task.
Right, done.
You know,
This
if you've
is a
got
priority
the aptitude,
now.
you should join
Anything
the
we can
Mages
use to
College
fight
in
this
Winterhold.
dragon, or dragons, we need it quickly, before it's too late.
Of course, Jarl Balgruf. You seem to have found me an able assistant. I'm sure she will prove most useful.
Succeed at this, and you'll be rewarded. Whiterun will be in your debt.
Rewarded, huh? How so? Lots of cash? That was a bit of cash. Right, I'm intrigued. You're, Oh, it's the kill mood mod thingy, majiggy. Oh, I didn't need to do that. I've got the MCM for that.
Oh,
You.
I thought you were already on your way to Bleak Falls Barrow.
I'm gonna buy some things first.
So,
and
you
possibly
wish to
sell you
master
some
the
things.
arcane arts?
Guessing you sell spells? He can't afford to buy that now. That was a shame. Probably should have sold him that first. Show you those 2 books. Really pay anything for them. Show you the little girl's dress. You may be into that sort of thing. Spell books. Ooh, loads of new spells. Bound weapons. Choking grasp. What else do I think? Spell magic, dragon's teeth. Dragon's teeth. Elemental bolt. Flare, fast healing, fear, fire rune, fire bolt. Flames I already know. Flame skin. Fracture. Frost rune. I don't really use runes. Ghost walk, that doesn't seem to be particularly useful. Hailstone. Healing, I know. Healing hands. That allows me to heal other people. Ice spike. Inferno. Lamb of Mara. Leech seed. Lightning bolt. Lightning rune. Long stride. Age light. Don't really need that. Muffle. I'm already pretty sneaky. Those recital. Pale shadow. Perilous path. Power of the master. Prepare for adventure. A zombie, reanimate corpse. These are all things I've got anyway. Shared trauma. Play living. Soul cloak could be useful. Soul trap is going to be useful. Strangulation. I like the sound of that. Like force choking people like Darth Vader style, isn't it? So I can probably now sell you my bows to get a little bit of money back. I'd love to sell you one of those because they've got a lot of value. But alas, you cannot afford. Right. Done.
Off to Bleak Falls Barrow with you. The Jarl is not a patient man. Neither am I, come to think of it.
You know what? I'm starting to... I best leave, otherwise I will eat him. I will eat him. No, Bleak Falls Barrow it is then. Okay. I was hoping I'd get a bit more time in Whiterun to have a bit of a look around and check out the sites, but dragons on the loose, we can't afford to be picky. Yeah. There'll be time for that later, once the dragons are done. And everyone's in bed anyway, look, it's night time. I've arrived at Whiterun at the wrong time of day.
Finally agreed to send you back to Riverwood.
Yes, Housecar. We'll leave immediately.
Just have a quick run round. Don't think I've got any mods that make any changes to... do make some little changes, look. Got a new area out here.
I don't expect the three of you to fight off a dragon by yourselves, but I do expect you to do your duty.
Of course.
He's sending the reinforcements to Riverwood then, so that's alright. We've got guards in Riverwood. I need to get to Bleak Falls Barrow. So, I'm probably going to need to equip bat form for this. That will enable me to travel a bit faster once I'm away from the city and away from watchful eyes. Wrong button. This is the way to travel, innit? Eh? Oh crap! Watch out for fall damage. I think I've took a wrong turning somewhere. That's giant camp. Where am I? Completely going in the wrong direction. Those were the pillars I... Oh, getting some serious screen laggy lag. doesn't like that, does it? It tends to freeze up a bit. Game's having a little bit of trouble dealing with the movement speed. It can't quite load and keep up. Yeah, and that's probably because I'm running the SSD through a USB hub, not via a SATA connection. So I maybe have to be a little bit more cautious about using... Oh! You know what I forgot to do? I learnt all them spells. Bought all them spells. Didn't learn any of them? Where are they? Cloaking Grasp? Strangulation. Well, the sound of that bound sword is always nice. Don't have any new vampire powers just yet. So I'm good to go there. So what have I got equipped? I've got Vampire Drain. Yeah. Might now change actually. Bit of Strangulation and Flames. Is that a good combo, do you reckon? Force choke my victims as I burn them. Oh, hello. Okay, so it's not so much a force choke. I don't sort of latch onto them and hold them. It's a bit of... It is, again, it's a lot like a drain life kind of spell. What else did I have? I can't remember. Now, Soul Cloak is going to be... I'm guessing that's Conjuration School, so that will level me up in a separate field of magic. Which could be rather useful. So there's a guy over... There's a couple of guys over here.
Never should have come here.
Uh-oh. Of course, I don't have any black flipping souls, do I? So you know what? Soul Trap is, I'm guessing, not all that useful. What did I just equip?
You start running so I can stab you in the back. Victory is...
I'll just keep running till my magic regens, thanks. And I can finish off incinerating you. What on? God, I wasn't even paying attention. Choking Grasp. Okay. Choking Grasp. Okay, make a note of that. It takes some blood for the journey. Coin purse? 25 gold. You really should carry more gold in your coin purses, people. These people are going to really have a lot. No chests? What about up here? Oh, they've got one up here. Right. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking let's switch things around a bit. Let's go for a bound sword, so at least I can be like one-handed combat for when people get up close. Wow, the body's disappeared quick. No, he's down there. I'm going to take the blood potion from you. I'm not going to feed, because that'll level me up. Blood potions will come in quite useful down the road as like health potions and stuff. And obviously as food, because food has no effect on my character. I believe. Apparently it says it does, but... yeah. Doesn't. Although it says on the screen that it restores health and it has effects, it doesn't. Food and drink has no effect on me. Potions have a slight effect, but not massive. So for me it's all about not taking too many hits and making sure I've got blood potions. Oh. Pilfrons Barrow discovered. This weather might actually help, because it might actually give me a bit of a shielding. Conceal my approach, because I've already scouted one. I saw one bandit up there. Guessing there's probably some more out here.
This a surprise.
Time to die, hero. You'll be so much easier to run when you're dead.
Well. Uh-oh. That was close. That was close. Me being dead. Gotta do something about my armor. As much as I love the benefits and stuff that it's giving me to things like my magicka regen, my magicka pool, it's not offering me a lot of protection against people with swords and axes. Where's healing? Healing, healing, healing. Might have to go do a little bit of restoration school. Just maybe, possibly. Might have to keep the